Welcome. Normally, we would all be together, the graduates to either side of me, looking out at all our guests, perhaps squinting in the sun. But there is, of course, nothing normal about this spring. Still, I am glad to be with you, if only virtually. And the distance between us need not lessen our sense of celebration at the accomplishments of our graduates. Every year I say to the seniors that although graduation day is mostly about them, it is also about all of their families and supporters, because without all of you, they would not have made it to this day. Now there are a few things I must do before we get to the main event. First, I would like to acknowledge two students who, although not graduating from GSA because they were homeschooled, nevertheless were an important part of our community. Homeschoolers typically take 2 classes at GSA each semester. Kaylee McCrum was part of our community for 4 years, taking language, math, and art courses. And Kaden Matson was also part of GSA for 4 years, taking a combination of language, science, and tech classes, and participating in multiple sports. Thank you both for being part of GSA. The Board of Trustees has the responsibility of making sure GSA continues in a sound way in perpetuity. This group puts in many volunteer hours because they know how essential a great high school is to a community's health and well-being. As a way to ensure the board is continually renewed, trustees serve for 3-year terms, which may only be renewed twice in succession before being required to go off the board for a time. I want to mention and thank in particular 2 people who are retiring from the board. A past parent, Mr. James Marcos, served as a trustee since 2011, most recently serving as the treasurer. The knowledge he has brought to GSA as a member of our community and as a local business owner has been invaluable. Ms. Tyler Knowles has been coming to the peninsula for many years and became a full-time resident a few years ago. Like Jim, she has served on the board since 2011. She spent her career as an English teacher and department head at a very fine girls' school in the Boston area and has brought that accumulated wisdom and experience to her work on the board in many ways. She has served as the vice chair of the board. Both have spent innumerable hours serving the academy, and we thank them for their service. Finally, although not leaving the board, Board Chair Samantha Pulley is stepping down as chair. Her leadership through some exceptionally challenging times has been without par, and I thank her for it. The school has benefited greatly from her wisdom and the grace with which she shares it. We also have 3 faculty members leaving. Elizabeth DeSevigné, math teacher and department chair, is headed south to be closer to her family. Elizabeth came to GSA right out of school and is as fine a young teacher as I have ever encountered. Good luck, Elizabeth. We have 2 faculty members retiring, both of very long tenure at GSA. First, Lou Graceffa, who with love and patience has aided countless students through our English curriculum. Lou specialized in working with students for whom school did not come easily, putting in countless hours of one-on-one tutoring in addition to his regular classes. Anyone who has spent any time at GSA has seen Lou purposefully walking the halls, seeking out some student who is behind or needs extra help, but perhaps does not even know how to ask for it. Next, Nancy Buckingham, who has also made her mark on the academy. Most notably, Nancy started the GSA Spanish program and is responsible for its curriculum. Besides the standard levels, Nancy designed a culture-based course intended for students for whom the acquisition of a second language would be especially difficult. Lou, Nancy, thank you both for all you have contributed to GSA. We are a better school because of your efforts. What can we say about this past year, truncated as it has been by 3 months of remote learning? COVID-19 relentlessly peering over our shoulders every day since March 13th, the last day we had classes here on campus. I could talk about the challenges that were thrown at us all. I could talk about the emotional strain we all felt from the stress of finding ourselves in a completely changed world, without the usual supports of our friends outside our immediate families. I could talk about the uncertainties that still lie before us. But we are a school, and schools are about learning. So what have we learned? We have learned that a school lies at the center of things for a young person. We have learned how much a school is an integral and intimate part of a young person's life and the life of our community. We have learned how much we adults miss seeing our students every day, not just to help them learn, but because we like them. We have learned all this because we all saw how much we missed these things when they were no longer there in the same face-to-face way. We learned these things through how often families reached out to us for help and reassurance. And we learned them through how thankful our families and students were of our efforts to provide some consistency and normalcy in the midst of upheaval. We've also learned that smart, caring adults can turn on a dime, make adjustments, and adapt to completely unforeseen circumstances. And we have learned that young people can do that as well, that they can rise to any occasion. We have learned that most people are decent and honest and responsible and caring. At least that's what I experienced in nearly all my interactions with adults, parents, guardians, students, and my colleagues. People were generous, were understanding, were respectful, and were kind. Now, all learning is a gift that changes you. These lessons, though they came in a time of great difficulty, are no less valuable for that, and we can use them going forward to shape our community for the good. I thought I would end by giving you the weekly thoughts and quotations I shared with students every Wednesday while we were in the midst of remote learning. I tried to pick ones that might have a particular resonance with the times that we have been going through. For the most part, ones that emphasized one of my most common themes. While you cannot control much of what happens to you, you can always control how you respond. You have complete control over what sort of person you become by how you react to and use what the world brings you. First one. Who you are today is a product of what you did yesterday. Who you are tomorrow is a product of what you do today. Make every second count. The happiest people don't necessarily have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything. The world is in greater peril from those who tolerate or encourage evil than from those who actually commit it. The global pandemic has illustrated more powerfully than any video or essay ever could that we are all united, no matter what country we are from, what race we identify with, what religion we practice, if we practice one at all, or how we understand our identity. We are a single people on a single planet. We have no choice but to take care of that planet and each other. To be able to feel the joy flowing through the world, to find something valuable in something that hurts, and to remember that who you are is greater than whatever obstacle you are facing, is a step towards being satisfied and happy, even when things are not exactly what you wish them to be. Greatness is a function of choice and discipline. Mountains are only dirt and rock. Deserts are only sand. Beauty is an attitude. If a person insisted on being serious and never allowed themselves a bit of fun or relaxation, they would go mad or unstable without realizing it. And finally, you are not obligated to win. You are only obligated to keep trying to do the best you can every day. If, in addition to their regular lessons, our students learned at least some of these ideas through their experiences this spring, this will have been as successful a year as any in the history of the Academy, global pandemic or no. I am extremely proud of everyone associated with George Stevens Academy. Now I will end, as I always do, with a few final thoughts for the graduating seniors. After this ceremony, you can call me Tim, not Mr. Seeley. Mr. Seeley defines our past relationship. Tim more properly represents our relationship going forward. Use these extraordinary experiences you are having and the extraordinary times you are living through to become the person you want to become. In that way, you are not a victim of your circumstances, but their master. And lastly, wherever you head next, be it near or far, and for however long, come back. Think hard about making a life here. Make your future be part of the future of this community, and make this community an exemplary one, a model for our country and our world. We will now hear from our first honor essayist, Joe Ciampa, for welcoming remarks from the class of 2020.
Hello, my name is Joe Ciampa. Welcome to George Stevens Academy's 2020 commencement ceremony. Over the last few months of stay-at-home lockdown, I have had ample time to reflect upon my high school experience. What I found was a trove of happy memories and experiences, some of which I'd like to share. As an ex-homeschooler, the thought of going to GSA terrified me at first. I was an awkward, social runt with no idea what to expect. I quickly found that the GSA community, my fellow students, and my teachers were really welcoming, kind-hearted people. Sophomore year was when GSA really began to shine for me. I found a group of people that I really liked, and over the course of that year and the beginning of our junior year, we coalesced into a formal organization, the Junior Cabal. The Cabal started as a study group, designed to provide its overstressed members with peer support in their AP classes. The membership includes students of all sorts, but mostly we were try-hard academics obsessed with getting into college. As such, most of the Cabal attended the same classes. Birds of a feather flock together. We were able to support each other in times of studying hardship. It means so much to me that I could ask for help on a particularly difficult homework assignment, or studying for a test, and depend upon receiving it. Such dependable friendships are rare. The way that the Junior Cabal bonded us together is priceless. It is currently our goal to keep the Cabal in session well after graduating. We'll continue to support each other virtually and in person during breaks. GSA also helped me find my academic calling. Coming into freshman year, I could not stand math. I only ever had a dry introduction to its mysteries. But I had a succession of amazing math teachers at GSA who gave me a glimpse into the mystery and beauty of math. I've already decided that I will major in math. GSA teachers helped me along the road to discover my academic calling. Another part of GSA I really liked was the sailing team. I sailed every year except this one when the coronavirus made that impossible. Although we never really did well in competitions, there was always a feeling of strong camaraderie between us that I valued highly. I was certainly not the team's star athlete. I managed to fail the swim test, almost get a concussion, capsize my boat, and fall into the ocean all during winter. But I enjoyed all the time I spent on the team, and I wish the remaining members well in the years ahead. That same feeling of camaraderie can be found all over GSA. We're a small school, but we all know each other. Whether it's waving to someone in the weight room, or at the gas pump, or just walking down the street, I feel like I'm part of something at GSA. 4 years is far too short a time to spend among such excellent and admirable students such as yourselves. I will miss every one of you, and I sincerely hope our paths cross again. Until that time, good luck with all your ventures, be they college, jobs, gap years, or anything else. Our adult lives have only just begun. There are infinite paths for each of us to follow. Good luck.
The 2020 Salutatorian, Erica Hipsky, is a wonderful example of a well-rounded student, one who manages to be good at everything and is incredibly decent and kind and good-natured as well. Of course, when I say manages, that implies it all comes easily and without effort. But that is never the case. Erica's success in the classroom is the result of hard work and focus, late nights spent facing challenges, wrestling with the temptation to turn something in that is not as good as it could be, but might be good enough, and then not yielding to that temptation. She pushes beyond the requirements in pursuit of something beyond the minimum. Her success as an athlete is the result of dedication, selflessness, and being a good teammate. Those are all conscious choices. And her great skill as a musician, she is in our top jazz combo as a saxophonist and flautist, comes from hours and hours of practicing the same 2 or 3 measures over and over again, scale after scale after scale, until she had them right. And in spite of all that energy expended in pursuit of excellence, she never seems tired or grumpy. She somehow always remains cheerful and happy, with as ready a smile as anyone at the Academy. Surely she has bad moments. How could one be human without them? But as far as I can tell, she never lets them turn into bad days, and she never takes them out on anyone. We all make a mark in the world, whether we mean to or no. Erica's mark will be a positive one, a creative one, a kind and compassionate one, because she will make sure it is. It is a great honor to introduce her as a class of 2020 Salutatorian.
It's easy for someone to look into George Stevens Academy and see our years of athletic championships, our academic achievements, or our consistent participation and success in the performing arts. They can view the plaques lining the walls or the music competition trophies in the band room. They might even find out about the 45-year-old Twinkie that lives in Mrs. Rosemeyer's office. But what they couldn't exactly see is our community. And our community is what makes us special. GSA is small, but I think a more appropriate word for that is close-knit. You see teachers in the hallways and you know every single one, even smiling and saying hi. In the classroom, every hand raised gets called on. Creativity is encouraged, and ideas don't often go unsaid. We have a single lunch period where the entire student body can have lunch together, which isn't something most schools have. Kids find places all over campus to sit down and eat together, meeting new friends along the way that they wouldn't see in class. It could be that one moment your friend at your lunch table starts singing happy birthday to you, and the next thing you know, the entire cafeteria is singing along. After 2 years of attending GSA, I was asked to speak to our school's Board of Trustees in a meeting focused on student experience. In that meeting, I said that I've never felt more comfortable with or welcome into a community. And 2 years later, I'm proud to say that this still holds true. Within these hallways and classrooms is comfort of knowing you have a community that supports you, encourages you, and has your back. I have consistently felt this positive energy through the years I have attended George Stevens. And seeing my classmates eager to interact and share their thoughts in class, or just scattered across the lawn on spring and summer afternoons, I know they have felt this positive energy too. I have seen that here, kind acts are abundant and something is always done to return the favor. Whether it's the wholesome girl who's always giving out gum to her classmates, or the kid who actually gives you back the pencil you let him borrow, we just do things for each other. I have seen students working together on making a difference, like last year's poster-filled March on Climate Change, or this year's Civil Rights team educating our assembly on major events of liberation over the past 100 years. And after 4 years, I have seen this graduating class grow together as we have been shaped by our school's values of kind-heartedness and respect, along with our own personal values as well. It didn't take me long to know all of you, and I take that as a gift. Going from our school's foundation is acceptance, cooperation, patience, and compassion. To my fellow classmates, each one of you has learned from GSA's community while being a student here, and you can now practice these values for the rest of your lives. As you venture off from high school, find your community that shares your values. Thank you for being a part of mine.
I will be honest, I have introduced a lot of valedictorians in my career, and they are all remarkable people. One runs out of superlatives. Here is a small sampling of things said about Sarah Guto, our valedictorian, by her teachers. There were times when I definitely viewed her as a collaborator as much as a student. Sarah is completely prepared for college work after an outstanding year in our AP class. I appreciated her focus and intelligent nature. These are not small compliments. They're not throwaway comments said about everyone every year. Wonderful tributes though they are, however, they are not unique to Sarah. Indicative of a notable desire, dedication, and drive though they be, they are not unique to Sarah. Not many get such accolades, but there are others who do. They are a sign of a rare and happy combination of intelligence, tenacity, curiosity, and joy of learning. But they do on occasion occur in a student. So what might we say that truly belongs to Sarah? I will steal a few sentences from a colleague. What distinguishes Sarah from other academically accomplished students is her maturity and self-awareness, her complex way of seeing the world and her place in it. She is an exemplary human being. Sarah cares. She wants to make things better. She sees herself as part of a larger whole, one that transcends her. That is not something one encounters in everyone, and is particularly rare in a person of her age, as self-absorption is the default mode of teenagers. Nearly all of my interactions with Sarah came about because she reached out to me about something that she was interested in that would make GSA better. But even this quality, this generosity of spirit, does not completely capture her, for it all makes her sound too serious. And so we have still missed the mark, or at least not yet hit a bullseye. She is serious, of course. You cannot achieve as she has if you are not. But Sarah has this little, almost sly smile, one that says, I may be serious, but I am having a good time in here. And in that, we see her true wisdom. Life is challenging and meant to be met head-on. But there is a beauty at its core to be celebrated. I think she has already had a glimpse of that beauty, a beauty that transcends our day-to-day lives. And that is truly remarkable, something that can be said about very few valedictorians. It is a great pleasure to introduce the 2020 GSA valedictorian, Sarah Guteau.
Good afternoon. When I was a little girl, my favorite book was Harold and the Purple Crayon by Crockett Johnson. For those of you who don't know, Harold and the Purple Crayon is a story about a little boy named Harold who uses his large purple crayon to draw to life the creations of his imagination. Harold decides to take a walk in the moonlight, but there is no moon, so he draws one. There is no path to walk on, so he draws that too. Harold takes himself on adventures through a forest and an ocean, through the sky and a city, and draws a solution to every problem he comes across, always with the moon to light his way. Harold doesn't get overwhelmed by the problems he faces. He simply takes them one at a time, lets himself be creative, and sometimes even makes mistakes, but he always keeps moving forward. As a little girl, I loved the stories of Harold for their excitement and happy endings. And of course, my favorite color at the time was purple, so Harold and I were fast friends. Now, looking back, I love Harold's stories because they show creativity, curiosity, ingenuity, and a promise that you can always solve the problems you encounter if you put your mind to it. When I think about the George Stevens Academy class of 2020, the same traits come to mind. Our creativity can be seen through the world history projects that line the gym hallway during our sophomore year, the music that bursts from the band room every day, and the art created and displayed at the end of every school year. Our curiosity is seen in every question asked and every moment of learning. Our ingenuity is shown when class members build their own planes and rebuild the engines of their cars. And our problem-solving abilities? Just look at where we are now. Over the past few months, our world has been turned upside down, and we have all had to adjust to the new way of life and learning. With the way I have seen my classmates rise to this challenge, I am confident when I say the members of the class of 2020 have the ability to face any challenge the world throws at us, and I know there will be many. Today marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of the next. For some, that means the start of college in the fall and the excitement of new friends and experiences. For others, it means beginning the process of searching for a job or starting a new business. For all, It means venturing into the unknown with the courage to face what awaits us and the curiosity to see what tomorrow holds. We each stand at a precipice with a decision to make about how we want to shape our own future. We will be pushed and pulled, challenged and encouraged. We will triumph and we will fail. We will have good days and we will have bad days. But every experience will shape us into the people we will become and the mark we will leave behind. Through all the days and years ahead, my hope for the class of 2020 is that each and every one of us finds something we are passionate about and something we want to improve in our world. We each have a voice, we each have something worthwhile to say, and it is our duty as the next generation to stand up, speak out, and act on what we believe, whatever that may be. The problems of our lives and the problems of the world can often feel overwhelming. We can often feel small, unimportant, and insignificant by comparison. But if we listen to Harold, hold on to our purple crayons, and break the larger problems into smaller pieces we can manage, we can change the world around us into the world we want it to be. We can draw to life the creations of our own imaginations. So class of 2020, I ask you to pick up your purple crayons and look at this incredible place we get to call home. Travel far and wide, or just down the street, but find something you are passionate about, draw your moon to light your way, and work to make this world a better place than it was yesterday. I'd like to leave you with a quote from one of my favorite authors, Catherine Valente. Life is beautiful and life is stupid. As long as you keep that in mind and never give more weight to one than the other, the history of the galaxy, the history of a planet, the history of a person is a simple tune with lyrics flashed on screen and a friendly bouncing disco ball of glittering light to help you follow along. Cue the music, cue the dancers, cue tomorrow. Thank you.
One of the parts of my job I find most stressful is selecting the graduation speaker. I want to get someone who will be a good speaker, but also someone whom the seniors can relate to. I think that is more important than getting someone famous. It is also good if the speaker has some connection to our school. This year it seemed especially important we have as a speaker someone close to GSA and to the students. I am delighted that Ms. Libby Rosemeyer, GSA alumna class of 1977 and our assistant head of school, said yes when I asked her. Libby is a consummate educator, one who always thinks about the right thing. What will be best for the students? Her wisdom, intelligence, and compassion are without par, all filtered through extraordinary common sense. Her gentle, compassionate nature is sheathed in a very strong coating. She is the perfect combination of someone who brooks no nonsense, especially when it comes to kids' well-being, but who is forgiving and kind and understanding of all the complexities of human beings. That is why people trust her and listen to her, myself included. She represents the very best of the Academy. GSA is much the better for her tenure here, and I am pleased no end to introduce Libby Rosemeyer, GSA class of 1977, as our graduation speaker.
Dear seniors, we truly must be in the twilight zone because Mr. Seeley asked me to speak at your graduation. But the times are strange, and really you're the only class that I'd do this for. It was possibly an act of desperation on his part because, you know, all the usual candidates for graduation speaker are busy trying to run the country during a pandemic or binge watching Tiger King. It was also a leap of faith on Mr. Seeley's part because, quite frankly, he never knows what I'm going to say. Really. One thing he does know is that I'll say what's on my mind and it won't take long. First, I'd like to acknowledge that this year has been tough on you. It started out like any other senior year, but sometime in the middle of March it took a strange detour and here we are. There are obvious things you have missed out on: Jazz Fest, baseball, softball, tennis, track, art shows, senior debates, sailing, and just regular old school days. Being with your friends, your teachers, seeing Debbie, Nurse Nikki, Mr. Eck. The hardest part, I'm guessing, is that you missed out on being with your friends here at school. Or maybe it's school lunches and Tony's whoopie pies. I don't know. I think you should know that there are things I miss too. I miss seeing you arrive at school in the mornings. I miss hearing snippets of your conversations as I walk through the halls. I miss hearing, hey, can I talk to you? Or have you got a minute? Or can I see the Twinkie? Or just having you come to my office and sit down and chill and have 1 or 2 Hershey's Kisses, or maybe 5 or 10. We didn't get to go through the normal stages of senior year that happen after independent study when you guys all come back to school, where we do that kind of dance, where you guys are pains in the butt, and we're all seeing the end of the year looming, and your grades aren't what they should be, your attendance isn't what it should be, but you're kind of looking at us like, you can't tell us what to do, we're almost done. Then what we do is we roll our eyes and count to 10 while saying to ourselves and each other, will this year ever end? When are they going to graduate? They need to move on. But my mind still feels like it's March, and we have some time together yet. But the reality is that graduation is here, and you're really leaving, and I'm not quite ready for you to go. I mean, some of you still haven't seen the Twinkie. There are things I want to tell you and things I want to ask you. Like, what are you looking forward to next year? Are you going to work? Where are you going to work? Are you going to college? Where are you going to college? Who are you going to room with? Did you get a new car? I just want to ask you these things, and I can't do it. I also want to tell you that you need to learn to navigate your way around a new system. You know the system at GSA, you know how to navigate it, but next year you'll be in a new job, at a new school, or in a new place. Learn to navigate your way around it. So I'm sad for you, and I'm sad for me, and for GSA that we missed out on so much good stuff. But I'm going to get past the sadness, and so are you. Don't be thinking that you've been robbed of the best moments of your life, because you haven't. The best times in your life are not senior year in high school. They're not even in high school. And how sad would it be if they were? There's so much good that's going to come your way. Graduating college, your first real job, the first time you buy your own car, the first time you fall in love, get married, the traveling you're going to do. There are all kinds of good things coming your way. In GSA's class of 2020, there are future fishermen, teachers, engineers, scientists, moms and dads, plumbers, doctors, welders, childcare workers, business people, college professors. Possibilities are endless. During the last part of this school year, we've all spent a lot of time trying to stay connected while we've been physically apart. When you get your diploma, don't just disappear. No matter where life takes you, stay connected. Connections are going to take on a new meaning in your life. You never know who's connected to someone you know who might be able to get you an interview with that company that you've dreamed about working for. So stay connected. When it's safe to do so, come visit GSA, take a walk around the campus, and say hi. Know that as hard as it is to end your high school years this way, you will always be the unforgettable, forever and fiercely loved GSA class of 2020. Congratulations and best wishes. All my love, Ms. Rosemeyer.
Next, Kayla Bond, Erica Hipsky, and Morgan Welts, members of the class of 2020 Class Gift Committee, will announce their class's gift.
Hi, we are the representatives from the Senior Class Gift Committee. I'm Morgan Welts.
I'm Kayla Bond.
I'm Erica Hipsky.
The committee includes Duncan Howell, Chloe Polite,
Quinn Stabler, Silas Murnick, Tung Kang Un,
Trevor Cochran, and Wanda Gould.
We've had meetings weekly over this past spring to discuss different options that the senior class could give to the school. We decided it would be best to come together when times are safer to build 4 picnic tables. We are hoping that they will be placed in the front of the school and in the courtyard.
So if the mandate continues as planned towards the end of stage 2 and through stage 3, we plan on coming together in small group shifts, keeping our distance from each other while we're building the picnic tables. So they'll be built by members of the class gift committee under the leadership of various mentors, specifically Jason Billings, who's already started to help us with this whole process. And we're hoping to use mostly donated materials from local sawmills and lumber yards, as well as resources from our own school woodshop.
During these tough times, it has been hard for us to stay apart from one another. We all know the benefits and the importance of social distancing and staying home to protect the ones around us. It was important for the senior class gift committee to show some kind of message through our gift to give back to our campus. When we decided to build the picnic tables, it was to show the community and future generations of students how important it is to interact and get together with your friends, to reflect back on all the times we couldn't have together, but to create and share new memories.
Thank you to everyone who's helping us with this whole process, and we hope that George Stevens can benefit from our senior class gift. Bye.
Bye.
And now, finally, we come to the reason we all are gathered here, the graduation of the great George Stevens Academy class of 2020. The students received their diplomas already in private ceremonies at school. For today, Mr. Stearns, our Dean of Curriculum and Instruction, will introduce our graduates while we see on screen a photo of each one. In order to break it up a bit, we will do this by senior advising group with a brief introduction by each advisor before the names in the group are read.
Hey Gabe, congratulations on graduating from George Stevens Academy. It's been a lot of fun working with you over the last 4 years. Your teacher, your advisor, and I think just a friend. From conversations we've had in my office, seeing you in town, you always make me smile, you always make me laugh, and I'm gonna miss that about you. This place will not be as fun without you here. So go out in the big bad world, make something yourself, and come back and tell us all about it. See you later, buddy. Bye.
Gabriel Nels Tollett Lyon, son of Jordis and Kimo McEwen of Blue Hill and Spencer Lyon of Crossville, will take a gap year.
Hi, I'm Megan Flanagan. I'm one of the science teachers at GSA, as well as an advisor to a wonderful group of seniors. I'm really disappointed that we can't be having this conversation in person. I really miss hearing from all of you. I still remember the first day of advisory when Liam, Cole, Adrian, Trevor, and Bree walked in the room, all new transfers, and they sized each other up, and it was really quite funny. I was a new teacher at the time, so I was nervous as well. It's been wonderful to include other new folks in our advisory, Milosh, Javi, Skylar, Jordan, and Molly. It's been really great to get to know you guys. And to all my students, I really miss you. If we were at school, I'd ask you to come into my classroom, probably offer you a snack, and then we could have a chat. We'd end up going out to the greenhouse or down to the harbor and continuing our conversation there. I have really, really wonderful teaching memories from all you guys, so I thank you for that. And this little guy is Olin. He's the newest addition to our family. So as we were going into lockdown, I was having a baby. He's a little over 2 months old, and he'll be graduating from GSA in 2038. I'm sure the world's going to be really different for him than it is for you and me. But all you can do is stay hopeful, and I hope you guys always save time to go outdoors. It's been really great to get to know you all, and Olin and I say good luck.
Trevor Austin Cochran, son of Cheryl and Charles Cochran of Deer Isle, and Melissa Adamo of Sedgwick, his guardian, will attend Whittier College. Cole Ryan Dewey, son of Amanda and Wilbert Gove of Sedgwick, and Anthony Hammett, will attend the Universal Technical Institute for Diesel and Auto Mechanics. Skylar Annette Dorr, daughter of Raquel and Ryan Dorr of Blue Hill, will study International Business and Logistics at Maine Maritime Academy. Harold Javian Fernandez Perez, son of Victor Fernandez Peña and Claudia Perez Gomez of the Dominican Republic.
Harold Javián Fernández Pérez, hijo de Víctor Fernández Peña y Claudia Pérez Gómez de la República Dominicana.
Brianna Patricia Hester, daughter of Colleen and Marty Hester of Blue Hill. Jordan Taylor Jewett, daughter of Tanya and Christopher Jewett of Sedgwick, will study early childhood education at Eastern Maine Community College. Adrian Anthony Marsh, son of Dane and Winsome Marsh of Kingston, Jamaica, will study business management at Rollins College. Molly Ann Saronin, daughter of Aaron Betchok of Blue Hill, will study geology at Eastern Maine Community College. Milos Shuitsa, son of the late Juro Shuitsa and Jelena Shuitsa of Zrenjanin, Serbia, will study business administration at Hassan University.
Milo Šuica, sin Đure i Jelene Šuice iz Zrenjanina u Srbiji, će studirati Business Administration na Univerzitetu Hassan.
Liam Thomas Webb, son of William and Doris Webb of Blue Hill, will study physical therapy and exercise science at Hassan University.
Congratulations, kids, you made it. You've earned your diploma and you've made 4 years of memories. I've always seen high school kind of as boot camp for life. Together you've laughed, you've cried, you've succeeded, you've failed, you've behaved, you rebelled, you've been polite, you've been rude. We won't talk about that. You've made friends, you've made enemies, and now you are marching, however virtually, through to graduation in the midst of a worldwide pandemic. What a story you have to tell your grandchildren, and I wish you way more than luck. I'll miss you.
Dawson Benjamin Asbury, son of Christy and Andrew Crosthwaite of Surrey, and Benjamin and Amanda Asbury of Sedgwick, will take a gap year. Joseph Jack Chiampa, son of David and Carolyn Chiampa of Brooksville, will study mathematics at Boston College. Isaías Rafael Franco Peña, son of Gina Peña and Isaías Franco of the Dominican Republic, will study business administration at Camosun College.
Isaías Rafael Franco Peña, hijo de Gina Peña e Isaías Franco de la República Dominicana, estudiará Administración de Negocios en la Universidad Camosun.
Ian Rondell Howell, son of Sarah Bushman and Scott Howell of Blue Hill, will study classics at St. John's College. Olivia Wendelin Johnson, daughter of Jamie and Patrick Carter of Surrey and Michael Johnson of Marlton, New Jersey, will travel and take a gap year. Yi David Lin, son of Wang Shuiping and Lin Chuyong of Taizhou, China, will study business at the University of Connecticut.
David 林毅是王雪萍女士和林楚勇先生之子，他来自中国浙江台州市，将就读于康涅狄格大学商业。
Thomas Allen Thompson Marsh, son of Jay and Elsa Marsh of Blue Hill, will study architecture at the University of Maine at Orono. Ryan John Mullen, son of Jonathan and Kristen Mullen of Blue Hill, will study diesel engines and heavy equipment at Eastern Maine Community College. Quinn Kingston Stabler, son of Deb Kingston and Bill Stabler of Blue Hill, will study audio engineering and music production at Hassan University. Owen Michael Vinyl, son of Susan and Harry Vinyl of Blue Hill, will take a gap year.
Hello, senior advisees. I can't tell you how much I've missed you over the last 2 months and how precious our time was together over the last 4 years. I've been so impressed watching you grow, how you've matured and turned into awesome young people. Not that you weren't when you were a freshman, but I can just remember that as freshmen you needed some help, and each year you just progressively kept moving forward to now you're going to graduate. I want to congratulate you on what a great 4 years it's been. I'm going to miss you all. Please, I hope you all come back and visit from time to time or drop me a note, because over the last 2 months it's helped me realize how special a group you really were. You took care of business. I was there to help you as much as I could, but I'm just so proud of what you've accomplished. So I hope as you move forward, you stay safe and you stay positive and just keep powering through things, because I know you're all going to be successful. Bye.
Aveli Spinoza Gaspar Aparicio de Oliveira, daughter of Pedro Oliveira, and Jalia Belo of Timor-Leste, will take a gap year.
Aveli Espinosa Gaspar Aparicio de Oliveira, filha do Pedro Oliveira e da Zélia Belo, de Timor-Leste, vai tirar ano sem andar na escola.
Gage Eli Asbury, son of the late Travis Asbury and Karina Asbury of Blue Hill, and Nicole Curtis of Hancock, will study electrician technology at Eastern Maine Community College. Kwangyu Carlos Dai, son of Yu Wenfang and Dai Guihua of Wuhan, Hubei, China, will study computer science at Pennsylvania State University.
Carlos 戴匡宇是柳文芳女士和戴桂华先生之子，他来自中国湖北武汉，将就读于宾夕法尼亚州立大学计算机科学。
Qianzi Simon Huang, son of Peng Jianya and Huang Shijia of Chongqing, China, will attend Penn State.
Simon 黄天喜是彭建雅女士和黄世杰先生之子，他来自中国重庆，将就读于宾夕法尼亚州立大学。
Silas Song Yuan Murnick, daughter of Mike Murnick and Lane Lucas of Blue Hill, will attend Smith College after a gap year. Daniel Thomas Schroth, son of Anne Schroth of Sedgwick, will take a gap year. Talia Denise Chanel, daughter of Bieshar and Berna Chanel of Izmir, Turkey, will study marine systems engineering at Maine Maritime Academy.
İzmir, Türkiye'den Başar ve Berna Şenel'in kızı Talya Deniz Şener, Maine Maritime Akademi'de deniz sistemleri mühendisliği okuyacaktır.
Austin Albert Snow, son of Christy Snow of Blue Hill and Brian Snow of Blue Hill, will study elementary education and business at Husson University. Aidan William Stearns, son of David Stearns of Blue Hill and Cheryl Stearns of Bristol, will study psychology at Temple University. Jianhao Randy Yan, son of Xiang Tao and Yan Fengqi of Shanghai, China, will attend the University of California, San Diego.
Randy 严天浩是向涛女士和严逢奇先生之子，他来自中国上海，将就读于加州大学圣地亚哥分校。
Hello, beautiful people. I miss escaping with you for ice cream and watching you battle for command of my couch each week. But mostly I miss your kindness, your honesty, and your unfailing, marvelous, quirky senses of humor. Please don't ever lose those. They are so important. Try to find something that brings you joy and spreads joy to those around you every moment you can. It is the most minuscule moments, fully lived, that add up to the best of lives. And because you know from the posters in my room that I'm an absolute movie geek, I thought I would leave you with a very butchered speech from a film called Secondhand Lions. Sometimes the things in life that may or may not be true are the things a person needs to believe in the most. That honor, courage, and virtue mean everything. That power and money and power mean nothing. That good always triumphs over evil, and that true love never dies. Doesn't matter if it's true or not. A person should believe in those things, because those are the things worth believing in. I am so very proud of all of you. Good luck out there.
Baliña Gaspar Aparicio de Oliveira, daughter of Pedro Oliveira and Jalia Belo of Timor-Leste, will take a gap year.
Baliña Gaspar Aparicio de Oliveira, Oan Husi Pedro Oliveira, Nozelia Belo, Sefoti Tinaidaov.
John Fairfield Richard Bakeman II, son of John and Amber Bakeman of Brooksville, will take a gap year. Kayla Marie Bond, daughter of Chris and Patty Kowalski of Blue Hill and Jeff Bond of Fort Wayne, Indiana, will study elementary education at the University of Maine at Farmington. Cassidy Alyssa Carlson, daughter of Lisa and Steve Carlson of Blue Hill, will study environmental studies and studio art at Keene State College. Wade Conry Clifford, son of Carrie and Darren Clifford of Blue Hill, will study welding technology at Eastern Maine Community College. Sierra Jackson Guto, daughter of Tom and Amy Guto of Castine, will study Women's and Gender Studies at Hamilton College. Lucy McLean Morrison, daughter of Amy Tan of Hancock and Arthur Morrison of Bucksport, will study Anthropology or Political Science at Kalamazoo College. Samuel Pearl Neal, son of Chandra Bisberg and Jeff Neal of Surrey, will enter the workforce. Maxime Leonidovich Severnyak, son of Rebecca Hopkins of Blue Hill, will enlist in the United States Marine Corps. Morgan Laurie Welts, daughter of Jessica and Cameron Dow, and Keegan Welts and Vivia Turner of Penobscot, will study nursing at Husson University. Dejun Jerry Yang, son of Yang Xiangyong and Xiao Shuifui of Xinjiang, China, is attending University of California, Davis.
Jerry 德君阳是肖雪菲女士和杨胜勇先生之子，来自中国新疆，将就读于加州大学戴维斯分校。
Hello, dear students, seniors. I'm excited today to wish you the very best in your life. As adults, we will miss you. Remember, there are more good people in the world than bad people. And I know you'll have fabulous adventures in your future life. And I've so enjoyed teaching all of you, and I will miss you terribly. So, take care and come back to see us, please. Okay? Bye-bye. Au revoir. Merci.
Parker Smith Allen, son of Tina and Jeff Allen of Blue Hill, will attend the University of Maine at Orono. Simon Ray Shautier Hill Brooks, son of John Brooks and Ruth Hill of Blue Hill, will study mechanical engineering at the University of Southern Maine. Jialue Sam Cao, son of Ge Aihua and Cao Xiaopeng of Tianjin, China, will study electrical and computer engineering at New York University.
Sam 曹家乐是葛爱华女士和曹小鹏先生之子，他来自中国天津，将就读纽约大学电子与计算机工程。
Jaden Rose Dennison, daughter of Matthew and Nikki Dennison of Penobscot, will study nursing at St. Joseph's College. Sailor Jean Grant, daughter of Jessica and Patrick Grant of Brooklyn, will study liberal studies and nursing at Eastern Maine Community College. Andrea Sarah Hamilton, daughter of Jeffrey Hamilton of Sedgwick and Angela Hooper of Blue Hill, will enter the workforce. Duncan Eugene Howell, son of Sarah Bushman and Scott Howell of Blue Hill, will study international studies at Lewis and Clark College. Nathan Conroy Mason IV, son of Nathan and Becky Mason of Lemoyne, will study vessel operation technology at Maine Maritime Academy. Keishin Ray Sadava, daughter of Ray and Ara Sadava of Kigali, Rwanda, will study illustration at Fashion Institute of Technology.
Si Keishin Ray Sadava supling ni Ginoong Ray at Ginang Ara Sadava ng Kigali, Rwanda ay kukuha ng degree sa illustration sa Fashion Institute of Technology.
Jack McCall Trayball, son of Jennifer McCall of Blue Hill and the late Charlie Trayball of Brooksville, will study kinesiology and athletic training at the University of Maine at Orono. Andrew Zafania, son of Luciana Lemantara and Karya Yono of Surabaya, Indonesia, will study accounting at Bina Nusantara University.
Andrew Zefania, putra dari Karyoyono dan Limantara Luciana, Surabaya, Indonesia, akan belajar akuntansi di Universitas Bina Nusantara.
Hello, advisees and other seniors. You've reached that moment when you get to move on, maybe still on the peninsula or maybe somewhere else. I wish E. Rich were here to share these moments with you, for he invested much of his love and time into you. I'm not one for passing on wisdom, but I want to encourage you to remember that your most important world is the one full of the people around you. Whoever your family and friends are at any given point in your life, make it your purpose to bring them joy and a better life. Be well. Courtney Marie Jean Crocker, daughter of Charmin Grindle of Blue Hill and Alan Crocker of Sedgwick, will study early childhood education at Eastern Maine Community College. Grayson Blake Eaton, son of Wendy and Blake Eaton of Blue Hill, will take a gap year. Mabel Rose Edwardson Fitzpatrick, daughter of Libby Edwardson and Mike Fitzpatrick of Blue Hill, will study global studies and women's studies at Kalamazoo College. Jiryuan Alex Fu, son of Wang Yanping and Fu Zhongrong of Beijing, China, will study computer science and economics at the University of California, San Diego.
Alice 傅泽元是王艳萍女士和傅钟荣之子，她来自中国北京，将去加州大学圣地亚哥分校学习计算机科技和经济学。
Erica Lynn Hipsky, daughter of Susan and David Hipsky of Blue Hill, will attend the University of Maine Honors College. William Francis Larson, son of Stephanie and Fred Cole of Sedgwick and Joseph Larson of Blue Hill, will study psychology at the University of Maine at Orono. Joseph Daniel Mitchell, son of Beth Mitchell of Orland and William Mitchell of Nashville, Tennessee, will study electrical engineering at Rochester Institute of Technology. Chloe Elizabeth Polite, daughter of Mark and Samantha Polite of Blue Hill, will attend the University of Virginia School of Architecture, Urban, and Environmental Planning. Hunter Ray Sargent, son of Cindy and Scott Pauley of Orland and Douglas Sargent of Ellsworth, will study business at Cornell College. Kane Lyndon Richard Shannon, son of Mary and Jared Kimball of Brooklyn, will take a gap year. Hannah Lee Sherwood, daughter of Melissa Hasselbrack of Blue Hill, will study business marketing at the University of Maine at Orono. Emily May Toby, daughter of Angela Toby of Blue Hill and Matthew Toby of Sargentville, will take a gap year, then attend the University of Southern Maine. Niam Asher Wolfe, son of Brian and Alyssa Wolfe of Surrey, will study liberal arts at the University of Maine at Orono.
Hello, advisees. It seems like it's been a long, long time since we've seen each other face to face, and I don't think anyone could have predicted a year ago that we'd be using videos to say goodbye to each other at graduation. I want to take my short time here to tell you how lucky I've felt to have you as my advisory. When I think back to our time together, I'm struck by just how kind you are, both as a group and as a set of individuals. Each act of kindness has made our community a better place. Thank you for the gifts you have given here, and here's hoping you can do the same thing in your new communities as you move away from us. I hope you'll come back to visit. Here's wishing you all the best on your new adventures.
Alice Mabel Bowden, daughter of Basil Bowden of Sedgwick, will study education at the University of Maine at Farmington. Chadbourne Anderson Davis, son of Sally Chadbourne and Delacroix Davis III of Castine, will study mathematics and computer science at Brandeis University. Wanda Kathleen Gould, daughter of Scott Gould of Blue Hill, will study environmental science and art at the College of the Atlantic. Lars Johann Hooper, son of Dana and Marguerite Hooper of Brooksville, will study psychology at Husson University. Germany Elizabeth Lewis, daughter of Christina Lewis of Brooklyn, will enter the workforce. Rolf Tom Einar Mount Miller, son of Kristen Miller and Turid Horgan of Castine, will take a gap year, then attend the University of North Texas. Hope Maver Osborne, daughter of Margaret and Scott Tufts of Blue Hill and Russell Osborne and Shauna Cousins of Brooksville, will study nursing at Beale College. Chunyang Peter Pei, son of Chen Yanwu and Pei Weixiong of Longyou, China, will study business at the University of Maryland.
Peter 裴晨阳是陈燕武女士和裴伟雄先生之子，他来自中国浙江龙游，将就读于马里兰大学商业。
Mara Grace Pickering, daughter of Thomas Pickering of Ellsworth, and Rebecca Woodward of Blue Hill, will take a gap year, then study orthopedic surgery. Vanessa Ann Sherwood, daughter of Melissa Hasselbrack of Blue Hill, will study pre-med at Drew University. Alexander Patrick Tully, son of Kelly Hawks and Lincoln Tully of Idaho, will study political science, history, and English at Bowdoin College. Kang Dung Om, son of Som Dung Om and Jam Tai Guan Jung of Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, will study chemistry at Emory University.
Ông Tùng Khang, con trai của ông Tùng Song và Trương Thị Quỳnh Trâm từ thành phố Hồ Chí Minh, Việt Nam, sẽ học ngành hóa học tại Đại học Emory.
And we are nearly done. A few thank yous, and we will close these exercises. I want to thank everyone who helped convert this ceremony from an in-person gathering to an online one. That took more work and planning and coordination, all done well apart, than you can imagine. I would like to thank as well the extraordinary faculty and staff of the Academy who have risen to this occasion magnificently, who transitioned in a matter of days to online classes which required changing everything, who have cared so well for our boarding students who could not get home, who adopted to new protocols and procedures that we had to come up with on the spot, and who, through it all, have shown flexibility and good humor. And most personally, I thank all the parents and guardians of the class of 2020 for your patience and understanding as we figured out and adapted to schooling in this time, for your good suggestions as we sorted through things, for your support, and most importantly, for trusting George Stevens Academy with your most precious resource, your children. Alex Tully, second honor essayist, will now send us on our way.
At the end of things, when one finds oneself bumping up against the edges of extraordinary new beginnings, one cannot help but look back. And so I find myself remembering my first days at George Stevens Academy. Days lost some 4 years behind me, but nevertheless preserved in the dreamlike language of emotion and memory, like strange and concise snapshots in my mind that run like this: anxiety, worry, fear, a sense of being overwhelmed, and above all, uncertainty. The dreadful, coiling uncertainty of finding a place, a part to play, a calling in my strange new world. I came to GSA with the initial sense of being a trespasser, a feeling doubly amplified by my cloistered upbringing on Idaho, perpetually removed from all the trappings of the mainland world. I was certain that I would not, could not, make it here at George Stevens, a place where the smallest average class dwarfed the total number of students I had ever had the privilege of sharing a classroom with in the small, one-room schoolhouse of my youth, that number being about 4 and sometimes less. If you've never been to the island, it looks something like this. One tattered, sporadically paved road runs like a forgotten horse track in a loop around it. 35 or so year-rounders call this Main Street home and frequently go to and from the sea, which rolls in omnipotent waves on all sides. The only way off or on is by a small passenger ferry. It was, in many ways, a romantic's paradise, though undoubtedly a gated one. And so, those first days of the first chapter of my new life passed at George Stevens with great difficulty, and I began to long for the sanctuary of the past, the memory of my previous life on Idaho, of my previous identity, of all the now gilded familiarity of living on an island as an island. But I was fortunate. Within the span of a few more days, the warm, intellectually inquisitive, welcoming spirit of GSA began to fall upon me as the warmth of a fire falls upon an adventurer in from the cold, and I realized, I think in an English class, of all places, that I was, as I am now, bumping up against the blurry edge of some colossal, vital new beginning. Amplified by that deprivation, I was suddenly ready, more than ready, and thrilled. The world, for all my challenges, seemed open and inviting and lavishly mysterious. The memories of the past no longer seemed to be dreadful weights that tethered my future, nor the contrasting screen upon which all the aspects of my new life played and reflected back to me as things uncertain, dreadful, and terrifying. I had lived as if I could continue living without changing, and for so long and with such conviction that the fear of change had grown more monstrous than the change itself. But then, inevitable and wonderful, change came, within and without, from GSA and from my own will, and I, swept along like a gale, found myself carried off into yet more new worlds, and this time neither the oppression of the past nor the limited sanctum of memory hobbled me. So, now, because of my years at GSA, I am a wanderer, a traveler intellectual, seeker of friends numerous, a poor author of memories past. I prize now above all other things change, big and small, for only in change truly lies the multitudinous coordinates to the best of all possible worlds. The wonderful catch being that there are, of course, so many. Each new world invites and inspires and confounds, and they will always exist if you look, be they in books or on maps, or scrawled out in letters and equations. They can even be found, perhaps especially often, pent up in people and the institutions they haunt. The trick, for me at least, was to peer into the unlikely places, to pry myself from the confines of tradition and memory. And I now bump up against the unknown, as we all must. But now I do so gladly. I owe much of this enthusiasm to GSA. My quest for comfort, purpose, and a sense of self lies on whatever horizons I am lucky enough to see, and not in any memories of a past place or past self. These things I seek, and from which I came after a fashion. These things I will always wish to have, but I see now that they are paradoxically only possible to find and experience through change. And I'm all for it. As the great modernist writer Lampedusa put it far better than I, if we want things to stay as they are, things will have to change. So, goodbye GSA. I will miss and remember you, all who taught and teach here in equal measure, especially the great cabal. So, congratulations, class of 2020, to new horizons, to new worlds. Stay happy, healthy, and goodbye for now.
Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Be well, be safe, and please join in making some noise as we ring the GSA bell. We will ring it once in recognition of each member of the class of 2020. Thank you so much.